Hello again, and welcome back to a brand new edition of Procurement Shorts. On the show today, here's a look at some key service sectors and a metal that have made the headlines. Power supply disruptions in China's Sichuan province are affecting the region's energy sector. Sichuan recently mandated a 6-day power cut for all companies in order to contend with a power deficit in the country. And this has impacted semiconductor and solar manufacturing here. The Sichuan region is home to nearly 717 registered businesses in the hardware and smart device space, and the power shortage is impacting their ability to produce solar cells and panels. Semiconductor and electronics manufacturers like Foxconn, BOE, and CATL have seen interruptions to their operations, which have impacted the likes of Apple and Tesla too. In fact, CATL has had to stop production at its Sichuan plant thanks to the disruption. Experts say the situation is bound to see constraints as semiconductors suffer another price hike to the tune of 10 to 30%, while silicon and polysilicon could follow suit. After all, Sichuan produces 13% of the world's polysilicon and up to 20% of global lithium supplies. Given that Tongwei and Jinko Solar have shut their plants in the region, with uncertainty over their reopening, the situation doesn't seem likely to ease anytime soon. Some estimates have PV-grade polysilicon already seeing an increase from $39.4 per kilogram in May to $42 this month. This could well lead to a domino effect that impacts solar prices, given that polysilicon is a chief component here. China's aluminum and alumina export push may go a long way in rebalancing the global aluminum supply chain. The country has boosted exports of alumina to Russia in order to compensate for Australia's export ban after the Ukraine war. China has also increased aluminum exports to Europe, where the metal is in short supply after several smelters were shut off amid an energy crisis. While the West hasn't placed sanctions on Russian aluminum, smelters in Siberia have reported a 20% drop in alumina after Australia banned its export to Russia. China, though, has helped offset the fall. In the last 4 months alone, China has shipped 471,000 tons of alumina to Russia, with June's 184,000 tons going down as its highest monthly count. These are massive spikes considering that in all of 2020 and 2021, China sold Russia just about 1,258 and 2,747 tons of metal, respectively. But China didn't just stop there. Its global aluminum exports have risen 46 times to 177,000 tons in the first 6 months of 2022, from merely 3,815 tons in the first half of last year, with the bulk of procurement being accounted for by Netherlands, Turkey, Montenegro, US, and Italy. This despite a 15% export duty in Europe, which is a telling sign of the demand for aluminum today. There's been long-standing speculation over whether the American economy will sink into recession. However, a look at the fiscal health of Indian IT firms that are major suppliers of services in the US has evidence of a dial down in procurement of IT services. One of America's largest IT service providers, Infosys, has reported a 20% EBIT margin, 3.6 percentage points lower than what it reported before the pandemic. Wipro also saw its earnings margins hit a 4-year low, as did HCL, which saw a multi-year low of 17% as its EBIT margin despite reducing hiring by 80%. Even IT services major TCS, which reported a 23% EBIT margin, the best among its peers, was still 2.1% down year on year. Experts say American companies that boosted digital budgets during the COVID-19 outbreak might be taking stock and right-sizing as fears of a recession are more palpable than before. There's also been a marked difference in the US between a company's willingness to spend versus its ability to follow through on it. Moreover, earnings pressures thanks to commodity inflation, supply chain challenges, reduced consumer spending, and higher interest rates have impacted America's appetite for big-ticket IT service procurements. On the bright side, some companies might continue to spend on cloud computing, analytics, and AI, so it may not be all doom and gloom after all. On that note, it's a wrap on this episode of Procurement Shorts. Thanks for watching, and do log in to burrowlive.ai to keep pace with all that's happening in this space. We'll see you soon.